Wake up, West Georgia. It's time for the podcast powered by coffee and Mountain Dew. The Morning Five with Bryce Sparling and Billy Lindahl.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
The holiday hoobie wuddy.
That's the only time in your life you're going to hear short is better than long.
Bigger package.
Your brain has the shell on it.
Is
You eat pieces for breakfast?
We got some hardwood.
collegiate?
Oh.
I don't know how long this is going to last.
Good morning, West Georgia. Welcome into this lovely Friday edition of the Marine South Morning Five. Billy is not with me this morning. His son is having some minor surgery. Thoughts and prayers with him and his family. Hope everything comes out swimmingly. Today we have, on National Peppermint Patty Day, we have a special guest co-star, local radio legend. You hear him just about every day on Graddick Communications, Mr. Matt Skinner. Welcome in, Matt.
Good morning, Bryce. I've been looking forward to this for a couple of weeks now, and I'm glad that you guys are off to a hot start on your own with the Morning Five, and I'm looking forward to having some fun today. And yes, thoughts and prayers with Billy and Gavin and Cassie this morning. And I am up about an hour and a half usually before I am usually up. So we're going to see how this goes today.
Yeah, it was whenever we need a co-host, I'm like, man, I don't want to ask people to wake up this early and do this podcast.
Hey, it's all good. I've got a glass of water. I ate some animal crackers. I'm good to go.
Dude, that is a breakfast of champions right there. Water and animal crackers. I love it. That sounds like the breakfast my kids grab on the way out if they don't wake up in time to actually eat real breakfast before school.
Yeah, I'll get my protein shake. I don't want to throw off my eating schedule, I guess you could say. And no offense to your National Peppermint Patty Day, I'll just stick to regular peppermints. I'm not the biggest peppermint patty fan.
Well, Matt, we got a Hawks game tonight, and it's a Hawks game that they should win. The Spurs are in town to meet the Atlanta Hawks right now. A couple more games before the All-Star break. The Hawks won the first meeting 124-106. Trae Young led in all scoring with 31 points. The Hawks are 16-12 at home, and the Spurs are 9-7 in road games. And if you're the Hawks and you want to be taken seriously in the Eastern Conference and you want to make a push through the playoffs, this is the type of team that you have to beat tonight. You can't drop this game at home.
I mean, absolutely. And you look at the Spurs, they're 20-35 on the season. Very un-Spurs-like. They've really kind of come down the last couple of years after they lost, Tim Duncan and Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker. And regardless, this is a team that you have to beat. The Spurs are not sniffing the playoffs this year. The Hawks back at home, they got a big win over Indiana, another team that, they should have beat. I think that we could have got a team of five together to beat Indiana last Friday night. They were that bad. And it's no different this week. I will be very disappointed in the Hawks if they don't find a way to get a win. And it looks like Travis Schlenk is saying we're riding and dying with the team that we have after the trade deadline finished yesterday.
And I agree with him. I don't think this team needed a lot of trades. I think the way this team was constructed, we talked about it yesterday, it's constructed well. It's a well-constructed team, and if the players don't perform, that's on the players. It's not on Schlenk for putting together his team because he's put together a really competitive squad. I mean, the Hawks are 7-3 in their last 10, averaging 114 points. They're only allowing 107 points in their past 10 games, which is quite a bit of improvement from earlier in the season when it felt like every single team went over 120 points every single game.
Yeah, and one thing you also talked about, the Hawks are 16-12 in home games. Well, you got to remember, in the month of December, they were 0-8 in home games. They were historically bad. At home, they lost 9 straight road games from November and on all of December. So you take those away, they have finally got it going in the human highlight factory, as Dominique Wilkins likes to call it. So it'll be interesting to see how the Hawks do tonight. But like I said, I'm not sweating this game. I'll be very disappointed, however, if they find a way to lose this game.
I think keys to victory tonight are this is my key to victory literally every single night. Trey over 30 points. If you can get him over 30 points, you're going to win. Hawks to shoot 32% or better from 3 as a team.
Yeah.
And hold Murray under 20 points. When Murray's under 20 points, the Spurs are 8-17 on the season. So those are my keys to victory. The Hawks should win this. The Hawks better win this. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, they better win. To be honest with you, Bryce, I don't know. I need to look at the roster real quick for the Spurs. That's what I need to do. Obviously, DeJounte Murray, I know who you're talking about there, but Jacob Podol, Doug McDermott, Lonnie Walker. Yeah, if the Hawks don't win this game by at least 10 points, it's definitely that should be counted as a loss.
Every time I watch the Spurs play this year, I'm convinced the Spurs just picked up a G League roster and put it on an NBA team because that's who's on that roster other than DeJounte Murray. It's like a whole G League team. It's weird.
Yeah, we're losing. After you said that, we're definitely
losing. No! Well, to move on to the second or third biggest game this weekend, we do have a Super Bowl on Sunday.
God, what's that?
Yeah, exactly. Wait, are we going to get sued by the NFL for saying Super Bowl? Maybe I should have just said the big game.
Yes.
This is the first Super Bowl I can remember in a long time where there hasn't been a clear-cut, in my opinion, favorite amongst fans not invested. So not Rams fans, not Bengals fans. Everybody I talk to, I know a lot of local people are cheering for the Rams just because of Matthew Stafford and Sony Michel and some other dogs that are on that team. And then I know a ton of people that are cheering for the Bengals just because of the story and how Joe Burrow kind of went about his career and everything. So this is almost a feel-good, can't-lose Super Bowl for the NFL, which I think is a great thing.
I mean, but first off, let's talk about how good the NFL playoffs in general have been.
Phenomenal.
Can you think of another? And I know you and Billy have talked about it a lot, but I can't think of another year to top this. To be honest with you, I mean, the games have gone down to the wire. It's been a lot of unknowns. I mean, this is the first time in Super Bowl history, I think, where 2 4 seeds or lower are playing each other in the Super Bowl. So this is absolutely incredible football all around before we get to talking about the game.
The NFL couldn't have asked for a better playoff, honestly. I mean, I feel like almost every single game has been a one-score game. And you have 2 teams. The Rams did what they did in the offseason, traded for Matthew Stafford. Everybody said, you're idiots. Detroit won that trade. Well, the Rams are back in the playoffs. And then you have the Bengals, who drafted Jamar Chase in the draft, and everybody said, you're idiots. Draft an offensive line. Well, they probably still need an offensive line, but I think they kind of gave all the naysayers a big middle finger by getting to the Super Bowl with Joey Bignuts in the second season. So, I mean, and the swag of the Bengals kicker McPherson, I mean, everything just kind of comes together and makes for the best playoff run, like cumulative playoffs in NFL, Major League Baseball, in NBA that I can remember in a long time. Yeah. There might have been some March Madnesses that eclipse it, but as far as the big professional sports, this has been the best year for playoffs.
Yes, and it's going to be a really good game. And I really don't have a dog in this fight. Obviously, I really want to see the Rams win just because of Matthew Stafford. And actually got to interview a shameless plug real quick, Bryce, if you don't mind. Got to interview Nick Jones yesterday with the Los Angeles Rams. He's a former Bowden Red Devil, former Georgia Bulldog. And by the way, now he's like the top assistant for Sean McVay on the Rams. So he went from playing at Bowden and now he's coaching in the Super Bowl. I mean, just awesome stuff.
That's fantastic.
You can hear that right now on the Craddock Sports Facebook page if you want to. But I am super excited about that. But at the same time, how could you not be cheering for the Bengals? I mean, they have not been there in our lifetime, Bryce. I actually have a really good friend of mine who I worked for in my summers at Camp Windshape up in Rome. He's a huge Bengals fan. I mean, about the only true Bengals fan I know other than Clay Harden and his son. And I'm just so excited for people like him because they've never seen a Super Bowl, never seen a Super Bowl chance for the Bengals. So I'm just excited to watch a good football game, and this game is going to be really, really good. I know that the Rams, I think, have a lot of the advantages in the matchups, but I mean, let's be honest. The Bengals have been kind of on paper, have been outmatched in every game so far, and they have not really cared about being outmatched in every game so far.
Yeah, I think if you look at on paper, I mean, you look at the key matchups, the Rams defensive line versus the Bengals offensive line. That goes Rams. Obviously, the Bengals offensive line is atrocious. You look at Jalen Ramsey versus Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is a fantastic wide receiver. Jalen Ramsey might be the best corner in the NFL. That goes to Jalen Ramsey. And then you look at the opposite side of the corner wide receiver battle with Cooper Kupp versus Eli Apple. I love my boy Eli Apple. He's a Buckeye. Cooper Kupp is better than Eli Apple. So if you're just looking on paper and you look at the Rams, their offense overall is 9th. The Rams' defense overall is 17th, while the Bengals' offense overall is 13th. The Bengals' defense overall is 18th. You look at the Bengals and you look at their stats and you're like, wait a minute, how are they here? They're not in the top 10 in anything. And the Rams should have a clear-cut advantage on paper, but this game isn't played on paper.
No, sir.
It's played on the field, and when you get Joey Burrow in there leading the team, anything can happen. So I'll give you my prediction on the game in the soft earned dollar segment because I do have a lot of bets on this. Matt, what's your prediction for this game? Give me a score.
Well, on Wednesday on the Graphic Sports Weekly, me, Billy, and Coach White broke this game down as well, and we pretty much have kind of the same points so far in this game. I mean, you look at the big positions. Cooper Kupp won the offensive MVP last night, or won the MVP last night. Jalen Ramsey's probably one of the best corners in the league. I think it's going to come down to that matchup of can the wide receivers and C.J. Uzomah, the defensive or the tight end, get open fast enough for Joey B to get rid of the football, because when you got guys like Leonard Floyd, Aaron Donald, Von Miller breathing down your throat, it's pretty tough. So that's going to be the matchup to watch, in my opinion. I said 31-27, Rams get the win. I think they're up 31-20. I think they're up a majority of the game. They keep it ahead, and then the Bengals score late and don't get an onside kick, something like that.
I love it.
I just think that the Rams have too much firepower, but I would not be surprised one bit if the Bengals find a way to win this game, because they've just been doing it all playoffs. I mean, the Chiefs were statistically, I think, the best team offensively, and what they were able to do to them in the second half defensively, I think, is pretty incredible.
I like it. I was so glad when they beat the Chiefs. I can't stand Patrick Mahomes' wife or girlfriend and brother are the worst. I'm so glad I don't have to watch them in the playoffs.
Everybody was talking about Jackson Mahomes, and I'm going to be honest, I wasn't really following that. I saw a bunch of memes about it, so I don't know the whole backstory, but
he's just an idiot. He's an idiot that's skirting off the coattails of Patrick, Patrick seems like a great person. Yeah. Jackson seems like a world-class moron. We got some scores from last night. We do have 2 region tournament games. Unfortunately, the Mount Zion boys did fall last night to Atlanta Symphony Orchestra. Atlanta Symphony Orchestra just played a really good violin last night, I think is what happened. But
well, Mount Zion, I mean, kudos to Tyler Wright. He's obviously the boys and the girls coach, and the boys team has gone through a lot. They had some people not play anymore and focus on other sports. They had some injuries, and I felt like they were kind of on the outside looking in to start from the season, and it just kind of got worse, and it kind of snowballed on them. But I know Coach Walker and Coach Wright have done a great job with those guys, and they battled against Bowden, man. The game that we covered a couple of weeks ago, I mean, they were in that game for 2 quarters, and then the third quarter came around, and Bowden went on that huge run and never looked back. But congrats, Mount Zion. Not the best of seasons, but I know that they'll be back and they'll get ready for baseball coming up soon.
Baseball starting, baby. And Bowden,
Oh,
the girls beat Dalton Academy last night, so they are moving on to the next round of the region tournament. So congratulations to the Bowden girls.
Congratulations to seniors Mace McIntyre and Soraya Anderson. Especially Soraya made, I think, first team all region, so congratulations to her. Nice win. And hey, all you can ask for is a chance. They're going to get an opportunity to play Gordon Lee tonight. I think it's 6 o'clock or tomorrow. No, tonight.
No, it's tonight. Yeah, it's
tonight. It's tonight. Yeah, they play tonight at 7 o'clock.
Yep.
At Armurchie High School. So best of luck to
Excuse me.
tonight.
Where are they playing, Matt?
Excuse me. Armouche.
There we go. That's right. It's Armouche on this podcast.
Hey, I will play by your rules. I'm so used to saying the other, but I will say Armouche.
Congratulations to those girls moving on. Basketball's a game where when you get into the tournament, just 2 or 3 wins, and you could be sitting there battling for a region championship. Yeah,
and the worst part about it is if you're not a top 2 seed, you're not guaranteed to get into playoffs. So Armouche and Drew Charter play at 4 o'clock today, and then Gordon Lee will play Mount Zion. And then, like you said, in the today, the boys had a whole lot of games yesterday.
Yeah.
So I don't know who all won those games, but Bowden, we know, is the number 2 seed. They have kind of clinched their seed there. But other than that, we'll keep an eye on this Region 6A public tournament.
Some soccer news. Temple boys lost to Coosa last night 10-0. But the Temple girls did beat Coosa last night 3-2. So good job for those girls soccer team.
Well, I will tell you this. The Rome area, and I don't know much about soccer, Bryce, so not to cut you off, but Coosa and Model and Armouche, they are all play really good soccer. Northwest Georgia plays really good soccer, so nothing to hang your head about for the Temple boys losing that game last night.
Good win for the girls. And
a great win for the girls, yes.
Speaking of baseball, Bremen beat Alexander 4-1. I hate that for Coach Romaine. I like it for Bremen since it's a local team, but me and the head coach for Alexander are pretty good friends, so I hate that for him.
Yeah.
And Temple beat DC 9-4 last night in baseball. So we're getting the baseball news rolling in. Good
wins for Temple and for Bremen, and I think Central and Villarica played yesterday. Or was that yesterday?
That was 2 days ago.
2 days ago. Yeah. So a lot of baseball happening, man. A lot of baseball kicking off, and
some good baseball happening out at UW too, man. That team is pretty good.
Yeah, it's a fun fact for you. I don't think Billy. I know knows this, but he probably hasn't talked about it. My brother plays for the team.
Really? No, I did not know that.
Yeah. He was 3rd on the team in average last year, batted over 300. Hasn't gotten as much playing time this year, but they're down in Florida.
Yeah,
He spent about 13 hours on a bus yesterday, and I think they got Lynn today.
Yeah, they have something like that.
Yeah. They play 3 games this week in beautiful Boca Raton, Florida.
Must be tough. Must be a tough life.
Yeah.
Carrollton lacrosse, the boys played Bill Walton Academy last night. It's actually the Georgia Walton Academy, but I just put Bill Walton Academy because it sounds better. They played at 6:30 last night. I do not have a score for the boys game. I'm not sure what the score was for that, but I do know the Carrollton girls lacrosse team beat McEachern last night 19-9. So that's 2 straight wins to start off the season. Yeah.
Well, I know this. A friend of mine, Jeremy Pullen, I'm going to give him a shout out real quick. He's a big part of Carrollton Athletic Booster Club, and Jeremy called me yesterday out of the blue. Haven't talked to him in a couple of weeks. He's also the director of one of our fantasy team groups for football. He calls me up and says, "Tell me about this Wordle stuff." I saw it because I posted the Wordle for the first time on Facebook yesterday. So we talked for a couple of minutes about Wordle, and his daughter actually plays for the Carrollton lacrosse team. And let me tell you, I talked to him a little bit about the lacrosse team because they beat East Paulding yesterday or 2 days ago for the first time in school history. Had not beat East Paulding yet. And then yesterday, they beat McEachern, a team that they had only beaten once before. So watch out for Carrollton's girls lacrosse team. They obviously got some very good talent, and they got an opportunity to maybe win a region championship, Bryce. I'm not saying they're going to, run the table and win the whole thing. Lacrosse is a different animal, but this is the fourth or fifth year of the program, and we're starting to see the benefits of that.
And I love the fact that we have women's lacrosse out in this area. That's not a sport that hardly any high school, I would think, in the state probably offers, and we got it, and we're good in our area.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
I think Bremen has lacrosse. Obviously, after basketball season, they'll get a lot of those lacrosse players. If I'm not mistaken, Bremen does at least.
Yes, they have. I know they have a boys lacrosse team. They might also have a girls lacrosse team.
Right, and then you have everybody else is pretty much in the city of Atlanta or thereabouts. So
St. Pius was the big one when I was in high school. I remember. Yes, Bremen does have a girls lacrosse team. That's fantastic. And speaking of Bremen, they beat Rockmart last night in a tennis match, 4-1. So good job to those Bremen tennis. What do you call tennisers?
Yeah.
I don't know what you call tennis players.
They're tennis players.
Tennis players. I like tennisers. I like tennisers better.
Real quick, before we get to the schedule tonight, I've always had this issue. Is it just me, or do spring sports starts way too early?
It's not even spring yet. It's still the high on Saturday is gonna be like 41. Yeah, I agree.
Like I'm all for baseball. I'm all for soccer and all these sports, but they need to put like a start date for practice of like Valentine's Day. You know, and really kind of, that's just my opinion. I'm not trying to take the season away from these people, but it just seems like that we go straight from fall sports almost to spring sports.
I know the basketball season's almost completely rushed through. Like, we just got the GACA All-State team yesterday for football, and now it's, all right, here we are. We got tennis, we got soccer, we got baseball all starting up.
Let's look at the schedule for tonight, Bryce.
We've got a ton of games tonight, and we also have a bunch of games this weekend. Tonight we have Bowden versus Gordon Lee at 7 p.m. That's the girls. That is the region tournament, so good luck to those Bowden girls. We also have two games. I think I'm going to be at this one as well. We have Bremen at Temple, boys and girls. The boys will go off at 7:30. The girls will go off at 6, and that'll be on the Graddick Facebook, streaming live with Mr. Matt Skinner and Coach Jetmore tonight on the call.
Yeah, looking forward to that game. The girls' game, I think the destiny has kind of already been sealed for those two games. Temple's girls have an opportunity to possibly, I don't know, do they have a chance to finish third? I don't think so.
I don't believe they do. No, if I could type, I could find it.
Yeah, I'll start looking that up as well. But the boys' game, however, they have. That's a huge game. I gotta find out the true. I'll call up Coach Chambers or talk to Coach Cottrell before the game tonight and make sure we know the exact tiebreaker, because we do know that if Temple wins, they'll be the 3 seed. If Bremen wins, they should be the 3 seed, but they might have to win by a certain amount of points, which I'm also about to attempt to look at.
So Temple and Temple and Bremen are both locked in on the girls' side in their position. So right now tonight's outcome will not change that. I'm not sure if Bremen wins, they will be tied with 3 and 4 in the region with Temple. So I know Coach Jett and I kind of talked about this briefly a couple weeks ago on tiebreakers and all that jazz, and I'm not as deep in the weeds in that as some people are.
Well, the way I look at it, if Bremen loses tonight, at least they get to have a home game with Haralson County. So they get to play Haralson County one last time at home before they go on to the region tournament.
Hey, you got to find positives in all situations.
Well, I know that place will be rocking.
I can't wait. I should be there. We got to get baseball practice in at some point today. We do have a couple more region matchups. Not region matchups, but local matchups. We got Haralson County. They're playing Heard County. They are hosting Heard County. The girls go off at 6. The boys go off at 7:30. And I believe Heard County has already solidified themselves. Boys and girls, I believe they are the 2 seed in both the boys and girls behind Callaway.
They are indeed the 2 seed, and I hate it for both the boys and the girls. They played Callaway so tough at Callaway. And talking to Coach Lasser last time I talked to him, they had, both the girls and the boys game last time they played Callaway was so close going into the late parts of the third quarter, and they just kind of collapsed there in the fourth. So they are very capable of beating Callaway. So hopefully they can find a way to get them in the region tournament. But for now, what is it called? When you're wrapping up the season and you play a game that means absolutely nothing before the playoffs, what is that called? Rehearsal?
Rehearsal. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, just a rehearsal tonight.
And I haven't seen Heard County boys play, but I have seen Callaway boys play, and I gotta say, not very impressed. Not very impressed. The girls Callaway team, very impressive. Boys Callaway team, not very impressive.
Yeah, Callaway's girls will go to the Elite Eight.
They're very good.
They've got, if they can stay disciplined, they walk out three or four 6-footers, which in girls basketball, that gets you a lot of places.
Yeah.
Most
high schools don't have the length that Callaway has in the girls team.
No, not at all. Not at all.
And the last of the basketball local games tonight, Villa Rica plays New Manchester United at home. They're flying all the way over from England, so good luck to them getting over here. It's senior night.
Talk about a wake-up call for those people going from England to Villa Rica.
Carrollton had to go to Denmark this week. These Manchester United people are going to have to come over to Villa Rica. It's crazy. This high school schedule that the GHSA is set up for everybody. I don't know what they're doing, but it is senior night at Villa Rica. So good luck to them. I don't believe Villa Rica can advance their standing in either boys or girls region. I believe they are locked into. I believe they're locked into both, and they did. Matt, I don't know if you heard, but Villa Rica did get the win against Lithia Springs. That was suspended. Lithia Springs decided to forfeit that game, so Villa Rica did come away with that win.
That's great and all, but they had the tough loss to Jackson, man, and Jackson, I don't know how they're. Obviously, this is a very talented, on the boys' side of things, very talented region. And they're going to have to find a way to beat Jackson in the region tournament to make the playoffs, who they've lost to twice by double digits this year.
Villa Rica boys look like they're going to be locked in the 5th seed, and the girls look like they will be locked in the 4th seed.
Don't sleep on Villa Rica's girls, man. They have been playing some really good basketball the last couple of weeks. The way that they've been able to play, man, they have been very, very impressive.
They can shoot lights out when they get hot, and we've seen that. We saw it against Central, and we saw it against Jackson, that when those girls get rolling, they can get rolling quick, and it is hard for the other team to stop them.
Well, it's a shame to me that nobody is taking a look at Kayla Ward.
Oh, she's fantastic.
I hope that West Georgia is taking a look at Kayla Ward. She had 31 against the number 2 team in the state.
That's pretty good.
Why don't you take a look at her? But yeah, talking about how good Villa Rica's girls have been playing. Starting in January, they beat North Springs, beat Central, beat Jackson, beat Chapel Hill. They've won their last 4 games after losing their previous 4. So on a little bit of a streak and playing a really good New Manchester team tonight. New Manchester United.
New Manchester United, yeah, there you
go. Who they fell by 16 to the first time. So a nice little chance at a revenge game at home, senior night for those guys.
And like we've said before on this podcast, basketball, like my laundry, is a game of streaks and runs. So just get on a good one and ride it out, baby. Got a bunch of soccer scores tonight. We got Bremen at Douglas County, girls at 5:30, boys at 7:30. We have Carrollton at Johns Creek. I don't know how they're going to play a soccer game in a creek, but good luck to them. Girls at 6, boys at 8. We have Central at Sprayberry. Isn't that the place from the Andy Griffith Show? Wasn't that Sprayberry? That's a long trip. Mayberry. Excuse me. I've never eaten a Sprayberry. Don't know how it tastes. Probably close to a snozberry. Girls go off at 5:30. Boys go off at 7:30. Haralson County is at home versus Mount Zion. Girls go off at 5. Boys at 7. Temple plays Modal. Once again, that is one of those northwest soccer teams that Matt mentioned earlier. Big opportunity for Temple. Girls at 5:30. boys at 7:30, and Villa Rica is at home versus Cass. Girls at 5:30, boys at 7:30. So if you're in the Villa Rica area looking for something to do, you have soccer and you have senior night basketball.
I'm disappointed that you said sprayberries and talked about eating a snozberry instead of actually talking about what the real sprayberries is, and that's the Sprayberries barbecue in Noonan, Georgia.
I've never had that. I've driven past it, but I've never had that.
It's been open since like 1930, 1920s.
Oh my God!
They've been open a long time.
Oh man, I don't know. I've passed that 100 million times, and I've never stopped in and eaten it. I need to go get some.
Well, any restaurant that's been open since before 1950 is more than likely worth a stop just because of that.
And if they keep retaining the way they cooked the stuff back then as well, usually
Yes.
that is a key factor in especially in barbecue. Key factor in good barbecue. We got some baseball tonight. We have Carrollton. They are at Fannin County. That goes off at 5:30, and the aforementioned University of West Georgia Wolves. They are at Lynn. I believe that game is down in like Boca Raton or Palm Springs or something like that. It's down in Florida somewhere.
Yeah, they are. They're living the life down there. Talking to my brother, he was miserable yesterday because they rode the old bus down to Florida. Had to get gas a couple times. Had to change bus drivers. I mean, this was a fun trip. But they're going to play. They're going to play 3 games, and they've been on a roll of late, winning their first 4. Averaging 15 runs a game right now. They play. The first game is in Boca Raton, and then the next 2 games are in actually West Palm Beach.
Oh,
so
what?
That is
how tough? How tough must that be?
Yeah, what a life.
Yeah. They've right now their first game against Kentucky State they gave up 1 run. The next game 1 run. The next game 2 runs, and then Emmanuel on Tuesday 1 run. So the pitching and defense has been stellar. I mean, the offense has been there, but the pitching and defense has been stellar for UW. Like to see that continue. We do have 2 wrestlers from the area going for state titles tonight. I believe they are at 6 p.m. Jacob Levy versus Riley Southern. Jacob Levy from Carrollton is wrestling in the 220 weight class for the state title tonight. And then Colson Hoffman from Central is wrestling Ollie Webb in the 106 state final. So good luck to both those boys down in Macon.
Absolutely. Good luck, guys. Best of luck. And
both freshmen, I believe, as well.
Both freshmen, to my knowledge, and I think they're going to represent the area very, very well tonight. Looking forward to seeing the. Hopefully, I can pull up that match before. Before last year, I was able to watch Brock Bibby wrestle, and getting to see Coach White's reaction to that was just absolutely priceless. So,
Matt, I don't know if you've ever seen Coach White jump, but I saw him jump.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the dude's got a vertical leap. He surprised me quite a bit.
Dude's got mad ups. He's got mad ups, and we should start to see some other guys wrestle later today as well, because we're still having to hear from the guys from Bremen. There's 2 kids from Bremen that are defending state champs. Obviously, Clay Hyatt going for a state championship, and they should be wrestling today and tomorrow. So there are other kids wrestling, but when you have the wrestling finals in one place, kind of hard to do 8 classifications in the same spot.
And there's about 16 million wrestlers down there, and trying to get them all wrestling. Yeah, that's tough. So. Yes. Good on them for trying to get it going. Games this weekend. We do have some games this weekend. We will have region basketball games this weekend. They kind of ebb and flow who they're going to play. It depends a lot like what happened last night, what happens tonight. A lot of regions will be playing Bowden, Mount Zion. So those are still sort of up in the air. Some are still solidified. So we got University of West Georgia basketball. On Saturday, they play West Alabama. Girls go off at 3, boys go off at 5. This would be a big win for both of them. University of West Georgia men's basketball has really been on a roll lately, and West Alabama is ahead of them in their standings. So this would be a gigantic win for them, kind of wrapping up their season or towards the end of their season.
Well, trying to look at the rankings, the regional rankings, because that's the most important thing when it comes to when it comes to basketball. I'll pull those up right now. But nonetheless, West Georgia's won 8 out of their last 9 games. So I think it's safe to say they've been pretty good. West Alabama on the men's side is always pretty good. And anytime you go to Livingston is definitely a tough place to play. But West Georgia kind of controls their own destiny on the men's side, that's for sure.
And I think West Georgia wraps up their season. I think everybody they play is ahead of them in the standings right now for their region, for their conference. So the opportunity's there. The opportunity's right in front of you.
So right now, the regional rankings are not out yet. They'll probably come out here maybe probably Monday will be the first ranking. Last year, of course, West Georgia got hot at the right time and made the playoffs at 12-6. Of course, that was more of a COVID year. Right now, they sit at 12-10, so they're going to have a lot of help.
Now, are the rankings different than the conference standings?
Yes. So
okay.
The Division II does it completely different because it really takes into a place who you play in the non-conference as well.
Wow.
For example, like Columbus State, Clayton State, Embry-Riddle, Palm Beach Atlantic. Those were teams that West Georgia played earlier in the year. Morehouse is another Division II school. They take into account all those games. So.
Okay. Because I was looking at the standings yesterday, and I was like, wait a minute. West Georgia's 4. It's West Alabama, Union, and Lee ahead of them, I guess, in the standings. Okay, so I didn't know they based kind of the playoffs off of rankings. Okay.
Yes. So
right.
I'll make sure to pass that along to you guys when the regional rankings come out.
Sweet. Good to know. The more you know, G.I. Joe.
Well, whenever those come out, I'll definitely let you know. But exactly right. They can finish third, second in the conference, but if they're not ranked in the regional rankings, it does not matter. But the Gulf South Conference traditionally, Bryce, always sends at least 3 teams to the NCAA tournament. And last year they sent 4: Alabama, Huntsville, Valdosta State, West Georgia, and Lee.
Wow.
Those were the 4 teams last year, so I expect no difference this year.
Good luck to West Georgia. That'd be awesome to make the. Where's the NCAA tournament held for them?
So the first 3 rounds are always held at the number 1 seed of the region.
Okay, so that'll be looks like West Alabama probably, or I guess depending on the rankings.
Yeah, we'll find out the rankings here pretty soon.
Okay, cool. We do have some more soccer this weekend. Only one soccer game. Carrollton is playing Brookwood at 1 p.m. Brookwood used to be a pretty good soccer high school when I was in high school, but that was 375 years ago, so that might have changed a little bit. And the aforementioned University of West Georgia baseball team, they do have 2 games. They play Palm Beach Atlantic on Saturday, and then they play Nova Scotia Southern Eastern on Sunday.
Shout out to my boy Andrew Vore. He's a good friend of mine. Worked with him for many summers at Windshape. He is a Palm Beach Atlantic grad, and he's making his he's living down there in the beautiful Palm Beach area. So shout out to Andrew.
And I assume Palm Beach Atlantic, I assume their rival is Palm Beach Pacific or Palm Beach Gulf Coast. I'm assuming is they have an exchange school called Palm Beach Antarctic, or Arctic.
Oh my
rather.
gosh!
Hey, I'm just I'm full of useless knowledge that probably is not true. We got some soft-earned dollars. As everybody knows, I am quite the degen. So this weekend is the biggest sports betting weekend in all of sports. We have the Super Bowl. So the Bengals are a +4. I hammered that. That is a -108. I hammered the Bengals +4. I told you I'd give you my prediction for the score. I think it is going to be 21-24. Rams win. But the Bengals stay within that +4. Give me the Bengals +4.
The NFL would love for the Bengals to cover.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All the money's going on the Rams right now because of that. It's actually the number has changed because so much money has gone on the Rams. I saw this morning.
It was 4.5, right?
Yep. Yeah, and I believe now, if you bet now, it is down to 3.5.
Wow.
Yeah. MVP, Super Bowl MVP, I got Joey Big Nuts. Give me him as the Super Bowl MVP. He is right now at a plus 230. That's kind of a cover bet for your Bengals plus 4 because I don't think they're going to win. But if they do win, Joey Big Nuts will win the MVP.
Yeah, it's either going to be Stafford or Burrow, you would think.
Yep.
I mean, they're going to give it to the quarterback unless, Cam Akers has a huge game, Joe Mixon has a huge game, but don't see the running game being very big. It's going to the quarterback unless, Cooper Kupp or Jamar Chase also just go off their marbles, which that wouldn't surprise me either way.
Cincy and LA to score a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown each. That is at plus 400. So that means Cincy needs a passing and passing and rushing touchdown, and LA needs a passing and rushing touchdown. That's at plus 400. Put a couple soft earned dollars on that. I think that's a pretty good bet. I'm pretty sure the Rams will cover that portion of it, and Cincy will get the passing. The Cincy rushing, I think, is going to be the tough one. I don't know if they're going to cover that, but a Joe Burrow rush touchdown would count for that.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why not,
And the coin flip, I have tails. Tails never fails. That's at minus 104. And I have LA winning the flip. That is also at minus 104. Pretty much a coin flip is minus 104. Gatorade, I have red. Red is at a plus 790. It is the fourth favorite. Orange is the number one favorite, I believe, at plus 230. I have red at plus 790. I don't know why I chose red. I just like red. I like red Gatorade.
Well, if you don't choose orange, you got to choose the light blue color. That's the best Gatorade.
Oh, like that Arctic Blast type Gatorade?
Glacier Freeze.
Glacier
baby.
Freeze. All right.
Oh, I missed the light purple Gatorade. That was my favorite.
My wife doesn't Gatorade have like a cucumber flavored Gatorade, I think?
Yes, I made the mistake of that because I thought I was drinking sour apple, and it turned out to be cucumber. That was a big mistake, Bryce.
We got that on a road trip one time, and my wife loved it, and I rethought our entire relationship because she enjoyed cucumber Gatorade, and I was like, that's not. Who are you? This is not what I agreed upon. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
and to wrap up the soft earned dollars segment, this has actually changed as of this morning. I checked it this morning. I locked in Brooks Koepka to win the Waste Management Open this weekend at a plus 1,400. Koepka had a really great round. I believe he's in second or third right now.
I was going to say, don't tell me just yet. I'm sorry, Bryce. I just don't watch golf until Saturday at least. Me either. I never pay attention Thursday or Friday. I have not really looked. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to look. I'm going to put my money. I said it beforehand, and my man Mitch Folds, who's a big golf guy, I think Xander Schauffele has got a really good chance to win this thing. Him and I don't know if Ricky Fowler's playing in it, but he always plays the Waste Management really well. So does Spieth, but give me Xander Schauffele as my pick to win this thing.
Definitely put your money on Schauffele over Ricky Fowler.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I got
to look and see where Schauffele is because I don't want to. He's probably like 2 over right now.
No. Schauffele is a good bet right now. I bet Schauffele's.
So play was suspended. Oh, okay. He's 4 under.
Yeah.
He's got a chance.
Schauffele was playing well last night. Yeah.
Okay, good.
He's got a
chance.
He's got to finish up his round, and so does the leader, Thigala. He's got to finish up his round. He's got 17 and 18 left, but I think that begins at 9 a.m.
Who is this guy? Sahith Thigala?
Dude, he's the newcomer on the PGA Tour. Kid is good, man. He's
24. He's 24 years young.
Yeah, and he had the 54-hole lead. When was that? It was a couple months ago. Around the greens, super impressive. Super impressive. It would not shock me if he won this tournament.
All right.
Another cup of coffee, man. I need one. Let's go ahead and get one. Today in history, 1965, the Milwaukee Braves proposed to pay 5 cents from each ticket sold to bring a team to Milwaukee. This was when they were in Boston. Excuse me. It's when they were in Boston, and the Braves proposed to pay 5 cents from each ticket to bring a new team to Milwaukee.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And a little bit of disheartening news, in my opinion. The universal DH is coming to baseball if we actually have a season this year.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a Braves fan, I mean, this is really good for the Braves. But if you're a fan of true baseball, I mean, what's the point of having coaches? I mean,
I don't know.
It takes away half the. I mean, the only thing left in baseball was the double switch and managing your pitching staff. Now all you have to do as a coach is really kind of get your lineup set and then manage your pitching staff.
I hate to see the DH.
That's all you have to do.
I understood why they do it. It gives veteran MLB players probably a little bit more longevity in the season. But yeah, that's a little disappointing on my end.
But when you have a pitcher that could probably bat 300, I mean, it's an advantage for the Braves as well. I mean, Max Fried could rake, man.
Yep. Daytona 500 is this weekend.
Daytona 500 this weekend.
Are you a racing fan, Matt?
Boogity, boogity, boogie, let's go racing. I promised Matt Ridgway last year, I watched the last 20 laps of the Daytona 500, and they put it on the same weekend as Super Bowl Sunday. I guess, is that usually when it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I will be at a Super Bowl party, so I doubt that I will watch the last bit of the Daytona 500.
My wife's aunt is having a Super Bowl party, and I've already told my wife, I said, listen, you have two options. We can get to their house before the Waste Management Open tees off on Sunday, and I will watch that from tee to green, the entire thing, and then I'll come upstairs and watch the Super Bowl. I said, or I can sit at my house, watch the Waste Management Open, and when it gets over, I will drive to your aunt's house and watch the Super Bowl. I said, but I am not missing a single freaking hit of the Waste Management Open Sunday round. I know it's Super Bowl Sunday. I'm not missing. It's my third favorite tournament of the year. And kind of talking about that, it continues today. Tees off, I think, probably around 8:30, 9 o'clock Eastern. They have to wrap up a couple rounds from yesterday. But that is continuing. We did have the NFL awards last night. Aaron Rodgers won the MVP, unfortunately. I had a couple bucks on Tom Brady. I thought Tom was going to win it, but...
I surely thought Tom was going to win it, but now that he didn't, maybe he can come back.
Oh, no. Cooper Kupp, mentioned earlier, he is the Offensive Player of the Year, and TJ Watt wins the Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Rookie is Jamar Chase, deservedly so, and Defensive Rookie of the Year, Micah Parsons, also.
Who I wish the Falcons would have drafted so bad.
That kid is amazing.
I've been a huge fan of Micah Parsons ever since his time at Penn State. One stat on Micah Parsons, he rushed the passer a lot this year. He got a quarterback hurry or a sack on like 19% of his rushes. That's how good
absurd.
He was. That's how good he was. It's just incredible. And of course, Coach of the Year, not to steal your thunder, Bryce, Mike Vrabel, who cannot win the big game.
But the fact that Mike Vrabel was the number one seed in the AFC after losing Derrick Henry for half the season, that's insanely impressive.
Absolutely. And with Ryan Tannehill at quarterback.
Yep, and an Ohio State alum. I mean, there's comeback player of the year, Joey Bignuts, well-deserved, Joe Burrow, after coming back from that injury, 100% deserved it. Good for him. He can go out and possibly win a Super Bowl MVP. And Walter Payton Man of the Year, Andrew Whitworth, offensive tackle from the Rams. So, congratulations.
And call JG Whitworth if you need cash now.
877 cash now?
Yes, 877 cash now. No, but Andrew Whitworth, another great story, Bryce. A 40-year-old playing left tackle. Those two words don't mix very well, but it does for Andrew Whitworth, and I hope he goes out on top on Sunday because surely, don't call me Shirley, that this will be his final game.
I'm not biased, but left tackles are the best athletes on the entire football field on offense. So, the best players. And the Olympic medal count, we have 10. We are still 4 behind the lead. We did get a gold medal last night. Matt, we got a gold medal in freestyle skiing mixed aerials team.
I'm sick and tired of watching us choke. Every time I turn on the Olympics, we're choking. We got people falling on our lands. We've got people getting COVID, unfortunately, and can't compete. And what I saw last night, I went to bed, but we were beating Great Britain in curling 5-2. I don't know if we ended up beating them. And I know the U.S. hockey team was playing the Czech Republic. And I know, are you a big hockey fan? I know Billy is.
I am not, no.
Okay, well, I'll keep it very brief. The U.S. outshot Czech Republic in the first period. I watched the first period, Billy. You would be very proud of me. The Czech Republic shot 0 times. The U.S. shot 19 times, and it was 0-0 at the end of the first period. That's why I hate hockey.
No, I am. I don't mind going to hockey games, but I am not a sit there on the TV and watch hockey. A fond farewell, I guess, to Shaun White. This was his last Olympics. He's already announced it. Finished in 4th last night in the half pipe.
Came in 4th.
Yeah,
came in 4th.
So we need more Olympians to step up. And don't worry, Alana Myers is going to bring home at least 1 gold for us. I believe her Olympic starts the 13th or the 14th is her first event, and she's actually pioneering. She will be part of the first ever single person bobsled this year in the Olympics.
Well, I'm a big fan of Alana Myers Taylor, I think is her maiden name.
Yes.
I heard her speak at the Villa Rica, the Rise and Shine. I actually got a picture with her, and I'll post that soon on Facebook when she competes. And I got to hold her medals. Very, very great lady. And it was 2 years ago when she was training. She actually gave birth.
Yeah.
She was training in the middle of and gave birth. So I'm a big Alana Myers Taylor fan. So looking forward to watching her compete. Real quick, just saw the U.S. women's hockey team beat Czech Republic.
Nice.
And got to look up the curling team because I'm starting to finally get the hang of, they got back on track with a win over Great Britain last night. So shout out to the men's curling.
Just like we did in 1776, it's easy peasy wins. That's just what we do. We beat Great Britain and everything. I mean, that's our mantra. That's it for today. That's all we got. That is the Morning Five. Matt, you got anything you want to add before we sign off here?
No, you guys are doing awesome. Keep up the great work, and I hope I don't have to fill back in again, but if I do, for reasons unknown, I'll be happy to do so. But like I said, I'm always here for you guys. Love what y'all are doing. Y'all are the best, and looking forward to all the stuff that we've got going on this weekend and in the next week.
We have got a ton of high school stuff, ton of baseball stuff, ton of professional stuff, Super Bowl this weekend, so much going on. Matt, thanks so much for hopping in here, filling in for Billy. Billy, thoughts and prayers to you and your family. Hope everything goes well today. That is it for this week's Marine South Morning 5. We will be here same time, same place on Monday. Y'all have a beautiful, wonderful Friday and enjoy the weekend.
Shake your neighbors! Just shake them! Shake your neighbors!